Hey adrenaline junkies, welcome back. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most intense police chases ever caught on Dashcam and Bodycam. High speeds, split-second decisions, and shocking endings you won't believe are real. Buckle up, this is pure chaos in motion.
On May 2nd, 2023, the Arkansas State Police were about to cross paths with a man who had no intention of stopping. Behind the wheel of a red Nissan Rogue was Tego Caldero, a previously deported felon with a felony immigration warrant hanging over his head and a homicide investigation out of Tennessee. For Caldero, every mile was a gamble, and every glance in the rearview mirror was a reminder of the law that was closing in. Hazen police already had eyes on him, and the question wasn't if he'd make a bad decision, it was how far he'd go when the blue lights lit up.
Come on down, let me get it. Too much traffic. Cut him right there, we have traffic. We're gonna be stuck. Okay, right now, 40 west still. Got to be about medium, we're about 110 right now. We got a pit, roll over, pit, roll over, stand by. Stop here, guys.
Hands, driver! Hands! When the dust settled, Caldero's run was over, and so were any hopes of slipping away unnoticed. He was taken into custody and booked into the Prairie County Jail on charges of aggravated assault, felony fleeing, and driving while intoxicated on drugs. ICE also lodged a detainer for his deported felon status and outstanding warrant. Some drivers make bad choices. Caldero made one that guaranteed his day would end. February 15th, 2024, around 5 p.m. in Arkansas, what started as a simple traffic stop quickly spiraled into chaos. Troopers found themselves pursuing a pickup truck whose driver refused to yield despite repeated warnings. Within moments, the situation would turn from reckless to unbelievable.
K5 that returns on a 2016 Toyota pickup flight. What's your mile marker?
Coming on the 70. High Springs, I just pitted him out. He's in the median. He's fixing to run. Send an ambulance,
No.
You close to it?
After a controlled pit maneuver brought the truck spinning to a stop, the driver made a shocking move, leaping from the still-moving vehicle and crashing onto the pavement. He was taken into custody moments later, likely facing charges for felony fleeing, reckless driving, and endangering the public. The bizarre decision left troopers stunned at how far some suspects will go to avoid accountability. Morning of May 15th, 2024, the streets of Little Rock looked ordinary enough. A bright yellow Dodge Challenger rolled through neighborhoods, standing out like a highlighter on the asphalt. But it wasn't just the paint job drawing attention. The driver, later identified as Aaron Sadler, couldn't even manage the basics of staying in his lane, and that was all it took to spark the interest of a nearby trooper. The wild ride ended not with horsepower, but with handcuffs. Sadler was dragged out of his bad decisions and into Pulaski County Jail, where officers tallied up quite the list: over 4 pounds of marijuana bottles of promethazine THC edibles and nearly $4,000 in cash. What began as sloppy driving turned into a stack of felony charges, property damage, and seized money. Sometimes the fastest way to lose it all is to think you can outrun accountability. I-beams, sirens, and a battered pickup flying down a Georgia highway at over 100 miles per hour. That was the scene on April 6, 2021, just before midnight. Forsyth County deputies were doing everything they could to keep up, but when they called in the Georgia State Patrol, the tempo changed instantly.
771, I'm taking primary from side 280 southbound.
84 call.
As soon as I get a chance. Stand by, here we go. Hit it.
They're checking all over the roadway. Really good we done.
Extremely 1049.
50 to 50.
Once the dust settled and the suspect's vehicle was fully boxed and the officers pulled up, weapons drawn, and pulled the driver, later identified as Jansen Cardell Jones, from the cab. He turned out to have a suspended license, active warrants for drug-related charges, and a car full of tossed contraband. Jones was taken into custody and now faces felony, fleeing, DUI, drugs, reckless driving, and a laundry list of other charges. On the night of September 4th, 2023, Arkansas State Police Trooper Jackson Shoemate spotted trouble in motion. A blue Dodge SUV rolled past in a way that made every instinct flare, not reckless enough to draw obvious attention, but not steady enough to seem right. The driver was later identified as a wanted parolee, high on narcotics and carrying more bad decisions than sense. The moment their paths crossed, this quiet night in the city was about to take a sharp turn toward chaos.
Speeds are 90. Reason for stopping the license plate light. Starting diesel in production.
8 number active.
Return on the distribution. Brake checkmate. It's going back toward production.
When the moment finally came to bring it to an end, the trooper didn't waste time. One clean, decisive move was all it took to shift the balance from pursuit to confrontation. The driver's next move was a desperate sprint from the disabled SUV, but it was short-lived. A taser stopped the escape cold and officers moved in to make the arrest. For a parolee already wanted and under the influence, this was the last chapter of a bad night. Sometimes the road doesn't end where you expect, especially when the Arkansas State Police are the ones waiting. On December 24th, 2024, Interstate 40 carried the usual stream of holiday travelers. Some drivers hummed along to Christmas songs, others kept their eyes on the fading daylight. But one SUV refused to blend in. A 2006 Honda Pilot tearing down the interstate at 98 miles per hour. When an Arkansas State Police trooper pulled it over, the driver wasn't just speeding. He was carrying secrets he couldn't outrun.
Coming up on moderate traffic, he's all over the road, speeds 104.
TVI. Then 1016, roll over.
What unfolded afterward left no second chances. Investigators recovered a revolver fully loaded alongside cocaine hidden in the vehicle, multiple cell phones, a handheld radio, and a set of directions to Oklahoma City suggested a man who lived in motion, always one step away from capture. Yet his choices caught up to him on Christmas Eve. The combination of speed, pride, and recklessness turned the highway into his final destination. On April 15, 2023, Florida Highway Patrol units were called to assist with a suspected drug trafficker blazing through Brevard County. The black Hyundai was clocked at 80 miles per hour in a 70 zone, but the driver's reaction to the trooper's lights told the real story. Instead of stopping, he hit the gas and tore through the interstate like his life depended on it. Troopers quickly realized they weren't chasing a speeder. They were chasing a man with something much bigger to hide.
Here, just slow him down, bro. Stay where you're at, slow him down. They can't go anywhere. They're about to lose. Get him.
Our troopers discovered evidence consistent with trafficking and placed the driver under arrest. He faced potential charges including trafficking, controlled substances, felony fleeing, and eluding reckless driving and resisting arrest. What could have been a simple stop for speeding turned into a felony case with serious consequences. Sometimes the difference between freedom and a prison cell is just one bad decision at 80 miles per hour. It was the kind of move that could only be described as reckless bravado. In the early hours of June 24, 2023, a maroon Chevrolet Caprice decided red lights, speed limits, and even headlights were optional. Trooper Jacob Bird had barely enough time to register the blur before clocking the car at over 100 miles per hour in a zone where most people are slowing for late-night lights. The driver had already written the first chapter of his night's downfall. He just did not know it yet.
1037. On the service road headed toward Dark Springs. Crashed out at 65th and 30.
Now! Get on the ground! I'm not playing with you! Get on the ground!
The driver didn't stay put for long. He bolted on foot only to find Trooper Bird closing the distance faster than any getaway plan allowed. A quick medical check confirmed he was fine, though his pride and car certainly weren't. By the end of the night, he was sitting in Pulaski County Jail with a list of charges that included felony fleeing, reckless driving, criminal mischief, and leaving the scene of a crash. Some mistakes cost money. This one cost him freedom. February 7th, 2022, a Georgia State Patrol trooper spotted a Chevrolet Malibu clocked at 91 miles per hour along Interstate 85. What began as a standard speeding stop quickly unraveled when the driver, later identified as Corey Anna Lewis, handed over false information and refused to come clean. Moments later, with her foot on the brake, she made a sudden decision that would send traffic into chaos.
right here at Crossway.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out!
By the afternoon of April 9th, 2024, a Be on the Lookout alert had gone out across the Atlanta metro area for a Dodge Durango tied to a homicide investigation. Officers from multiple jurisdictions responded after the suspect vehicle was spotted at a gas station along Forest Parkway. The driver fled instantly, pushing speeds past 120 miles per hour and weaving through oncoming lanes. The pursuit soon involved both the Clayton County BAT unit and the Georgia State Patrol.
Approaching Brownsville Road. Copy that. Bat 6 GSP is lead on the pursuit. We're going to be Jonesboro Road, northbound passing Cleveland Avenue. Speeds about 90 miles per hour, lane number 2, medium traffic. Forty-one. Stand by. Hands! Hands! I'm over 6. Hey! Hey! Go that way! Hands! Hands! Hands!
The chase came to an end near Jonesboro Road when the suspect lost control and crashed into a utility pole. He was later confirmed as the murder suspect linked to the earlier shooting in Atlanta. Authorities classified the event as a pursuit-related fatality involving homicide, aggravated assault, and felony fleeing. As night fell over Milwaukee on October 6, 2021, officers spotted a stolen Kia Sportage weaving through traffic. When they tried to initiate a stop, the driver sped away, threading through the city streets with reckless speed. What followed was a fast-moving pursuit across multiple neighborhoods as the stolen SUV pushed toward its breaking point.
7 and 6 authorized.
Speeds of 75 miles an hour, no traffic. He is going to be going eastbound on start from 6-6. All plates begin with 959. North on 6-5 from start. Unknown number of occupants due to tint. Speeds are currently 40 miles an hour northbound. Bound on flag 92, southbound on 92. Speeds are 40 miles an hour. A red Kia Sportage southbound on 92. Coming up to Carmen again, disregarded 92. In Carmen, clear right. Stop sign there. Southbound on 92, traffic is light, speeds are 50. He's going to be going westbound, missed on the stop sticks. Whatever squad that was.
What the f was that, dude?
93 and Swan, southbound.
What the hell?
And now we're going to be going eastbound on Silver Spring. He's in the wrong lanes of traffic. Watch out, squad. Eastbound on Silver Spring, coming out to 9-1. And he's in the correct lanes of traffic, clear right on 9-1. Speeds are now 55 miles an hour. A red Kia Sportage wanted for RES2 officers passing Derby Avenue. He just hit a car at Sherman and Hampton. Once again, we are now eastbound on Hampton Avenue. Passing Bob Link, he's now in the wrong lane to travel.
Bailing.
He's bailing at 60th and Bob Link. 60th and Bob Link. Pink jacket.
Still going.
2 passengers got out. One is a female.
Passengers.
All passengers.
When the chase came to an end, 8 individuals fled from the vehicle, scattering in all directions. Several were taken into custody while no injuries were reported. The Milwaukee Police Department called the operation a success, crediting coordination and quick response for preventing further harm. On August 22, 2024, a Be on the Lookout alert echoed across Seminole County, Florida. The target, a burglary suspect behind the wheel of a fleeing sedan. Troopers with the Florida Highway Patrol quickly fanned out, scanning interstates and exits. What started as a cautious follow turned into chaos as the driver pushed over 100 miles per hour, weaving through traffic like a man with nothing to lose.
Got around a vehicle.
I copy that. You're 1031. Did you say you rammed into a vehicle?
They attempted to ram a Hummer.
If you can update your 1020 with me. It looks like you're passing the 90 limit. Was it Shader Road? Copy, pit maneuver.
The chase ended after a tense standoff in a crowded parking lot where officers boxed in the suspect before he could bolt again. The driver, Johnny Jabbar Talton, was charged with hit-and-run reckless driving and 2 counts of aggravated fleeing and eluding. His desperate attempt to escape only stacked his record higher and proved once again Florida troopers don't back off when the public's in danger. On January 29, 2021, a Georgia state trooper sitting in heavy traffic witnessed a silver Mazda recklessly bypassing stopped vehicles and running a red light. When the trooper tried to pull it over, the driver refused to stop, taking off through Fayette County at speeds topping 100 miles per hour and weaving into oncoming lanes.
Okay, we passing school buses on the left side of the road. Hey. I'm trying to tell them again. Okay, I just kept flipping and I also got down.
After the chase ended, both the driver, 28-year-old Dominique Lamar Haynes, and passenger Shayla Jackson Holmes were taken into custody. A large bag of marijuana was recovered from the vehicle, and both suspects were handed over to the Lovejoy Police Department. Haynes now faces charges including reckless driving, fleeing from law enforcement, and possession of marijuana. But many still debate whether the pursuit's outcome justified the risk it posed to nearby civilians. Was it too reckless or necessary to end a dangerous chase? It was the night of February 12, 2023, and a white Dodge Challenger had already dodged Pulaski County deputies. But once Arkansas State Police got involved, the game changed. Trooper Niles was the first on it, eyes locked, sirens on not letting that car get another free mile. The suspect, still clinging to the idea of escape, made one more mistake.
10-4, that's the vehicle.
Trooper Jacob Bird arrived shortly after the takedown to help secure the scene, but Niles had already wrapped it up. The driver, still trying to play dumb, claimed he didn't recognize who was behind him, a weak excuse that went nowhere. Niles didn't hold back. If you hit the brakes instead of the gas, your car wouldn't be wrecked. It's not every day a suspect gets a driving lesson with their arrest. If you thought that was intense, just wait until you see what happens next. Click on the next video and buckle up, it gets even crazier. Appreciate you being here, hit that subscribe button to stick with us. On September 28, 2024, the man behind the wheel of a Dodge Ram made a choice that would change his night forever. He was clocked at more than 100 miles per hour weaving through traffic as though the rules of the road didn't apply to him. For a brief moment, he sat at a red light as if he might come to his senses, but in an instant he slammed down the gas again, leaving the light and common sense behind.
10:37. The Arkansas 028, Union King 0, be a great Dodge Ram.
10-4, down close, station 63, stay slow.
TBI. Roll over.
What followed was chaos, smoke power lines, and a suspect who refused to cooperate even after being saved from his own wreck. A bottle of whiskey in the cab told the story the driver wouldn't. Facing charges from reckless driving to first-degree criminal mischief, he learned that outrunning responsibility is one race you never win. In Marion County, deputies were not expecting their next pursuit to involve a stolen car full of pizzas. On March 20th, 2022, a delivery driver's vehicle vanished mid-route, prompting an alert across the county. Moments later, Deputy Carr spotted the car and attempted a stop, but the young driver inside had other plans. Behind the wheel was 16-year-old Keyshawn Jelks, with his passenger Dontarius Wise, both teenagers caught up in a crime that spiraled faster than they could imagine.
9, correct? Or not?
26 lane traffic. 10-4, South on 3. Hello,
Clear 1. 6534 westbound 77th Street.
Westbound 77th Street. Taxi 04190, Air 1051.
Signal 4, signal 4.
10-4, signal 4.
He's driving through the ditches here.
10-4, driving through the ditches.
Four suspects back on the road, westbound 77th Street.
10-4, back westbound 77th Street.
Probably heading towards the interstate, guys.
040 1048. Continue west on 326 that's going East Road.
On 326 passing Gainesville Road.
Head towards for the interstate.
10-4, heading towards the interstate.
Coming up on the interstate, still on 326.
10-4, still on 320.
Found on the interstate on 326.
Northbound on the interstate.
Hit on the on-ramp, that's what it.
After a brief chase, the stolen car was disabled and both teens were detained without injury. Deputies discovered 2 untouched pizzas still in the back seat, the silent evidence of a poor decision. Jelks faced charges including grand theft of a motor vehicle, fleeing to elude and driving without a license, Wise was charged with grand theft. Their reckless joyride ended not in celebration, but in secure detention. In the early hours of January 12, 2025, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper stationed in Lee County received a "Be on the lookout" alert for a fleeing white Ford sedan. Minutes later, the vehicle passed by, matching the description and plate number exactly. The driver, identified as 28-year-old Ivanka Jael Rivera, was taken into custody after a high-speed pursuit that reached over 100 miles per hour. Rivera later told troopers she fled because she was scared and trying to call for help. She was booked into the Charlotte County Jail for fleeing to elude and multiple traffic offenses, another reminder that panic behind the wheel can have serious consequences.